video, we are going to fake French braids because not everyone can do a 3-strand French braid, but most people can pull off this 2-strand rope braid into a braid that is such a fun, cute summer hairstyle. We are going to start this hairstyle with a center part. You could do a side part if you wanted. You would just have more hair on one side than the other, obviously, if you decided to go with a side part instead of the center part. But I want a center part for this look because that is the way I like it. And yeah, that's just me. But you do whatever makes you happy. And then we're going to also part straight down the center back. Now, I am not planning on wearing this style out all day, so I'm not going to check how straight my part is down the back. But if you are planning on wearing this style out all day and not just filming it for video purposes, then I would suggest having a look before you get into your style, because there is nothing worse than finishing your hairstyle, checking out the back, and it looking terrible because, you know, the line is diagonal or it's hair everywhere. And I mean, if you don't mind it being like that, you can totally leave it. But you know, it just kind of feels off if your hairstyle feels all cute and done from the front and feels like it's a mess in the back. So if you were going to wear your hair all day, take this moment to double check that the back looks put together and how you want it to look when you're finished, because once you're finished, you're not going to be able to change the back. I'm just going to clip the one side out of the way so I don't accidentally grab hair and pull it over. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to start with a twisted 2-strand rope braid in a French style. So picking up hair as we go so that it stays close to the head. A two-strand French twist is a lot easier for most people than a 3-strand French braid. So that's why we're going to do that. And then as we get to the bottom, it will turn into a regular braid. So we'll start up here. You can start closer to the top if you want. You could start right up at your scalp, like right up at the peak, to kind of give yourself a closer look. You could start back here and give yourself like a softer look. I don't have a lot of hair between here and down here where we're going to switch to the regular braid, so I like to start closer to the tip of my hair, closer to my hairline, right at the top, as opposed to further down here. Then you're not going to get too much of that French part incorporated, but totally stylistic choices there, so up to you. So we're just going to take this and I'm going to break it into 2 sections. I'm going to twist the sections and I'm just going to wrap them one over top of the other. And then before we do that again, I'm just going to pick up a little bit of hair to the bottom section, twist, and from now on I'm only going to twist the bottom section. I don't really have to twist both sections every time. I mean, you can, but it's a little bit trickier to be trying to twist both. So I'm just going to twist that bottom section that I added a little bit more hair to, and then I'm going to flip them over each other. Grab a tiny bit more hair from the bottom, twist, flip it over. Now keep in mind, if you have fine hair, you probably have the least amount of hair from your ears forward. You're not going to have a ton of hair here, and that's going to result in a relatively small looking twist braid. If you have thicker, more dense hair at the front, then you'll get a little bit more oomph to it. But you know what? We just embrace our natural hair here, and if we have thinner hair, we don't mind. So now that we're kind of at the ear, I'm going to take one more section just right at the top of the ear here, give it a twist, flip it over, and now we're going to switch to a 3-strand. So I'm going to just add a little bit of hair from the bottom to that piece. We've got all this hair here. I'm going to add some of this hair to my middle piece, and then I've got this hair back here. So I'm going to pull the back section first forward. Make sure that it's all kind of like combed in the direction that you're pulling it so you don't get any lumps and bumps. We're going to pull forward and go over the middle strand, and then that front strand is going to come back over the middle strand, and we will just continue with our classic 3-strand braid all the way down towards the ends. And again, if you don't have really thick hair, these aren't going to be thick fat braids, but they're still cute, so it doesn't matter. You can do braids even if you don't have a ton of hair. I find a lot of thin-haired people avoid braids, and I know there are people out there with much thinner hair than me that's braids would be even smaller. I have some clients whose single braid is smaller than half of my hair in a braid, but they can still look cute if that's what they want to do. So that's the one side, and then we'll just do it again on this side. This is such a fun summer hairstyle. It looks super cute with a romper or a little sundress. And I know that a two braid look isn't for everyone, but I think they are cute. And doing it this way gives you that look of a French braid without actually having to French braid your hair. And I just love that. Now we can see that here, this happened. So if I was gonna wear my hair all day, I would go back and I would fix this. I mean, you could always just little hairspray and tuck it behind your ear, but let's talk about why that happened. So this happened because once I got to the part here around my ears, I brought my hand away from my ear. I didn't notice. I made sure I paid attention on this side, but as you're braiding close to this part where your head starts to transition down back here, you know, you're kind of here and then it comes down and the hairline is leaving this area and moving back towards the back. At that transition point, if you're coming down this way and your hand continues this way and it's moving away from your head because you've gone like this, now you've created a gap, and then when the hair comes down, you create a bump. To avoid that, all you have to do is make sure you keep your fingers against your head. Okay, that's the same as when you're doing a braid in any part of the head, anywhere where the hairline starts to lift away from the skin. If you want to make sure you follow the shape of the head. So just make sure that you're touching your head while you're creating the twists and transitioning into the braid. And every time you pull a section tight until you're down here, obviously you're not touching the head anymore. But for the sections that are near your head, you want to keep them near your head so you don't get any awkward bubbles like that. I hope that helps. I hope that gives you a fun summer hairstyle to try out. And don't be afraid to try and do hairstyles like this just because you don't have a ton of hair. If you don't love the way that the braids look when they're down, you can pin them up. They look super cute. Add some flowers. You could pin them up that way. There are so many fun, easy, cute things to do, and you don't want to be afraid of doing your hair just because you don't have thick hair. You can also go in and pancake the braids a little bit, so you could pull them apart, which will make them appear a little bigger. I kind of like the tighter braid look when it comes to like this kind of French braid look, but that's just my personal preference. There is no wrong way to do these braids, and you can do them in whichever way you feel like looks the best on you. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the 3 videos that I post every single week. And leave me a comment because I really love to hear from you guys, and tell me what your favorite summer hairstyle is, and maybe we can do that one in my upcoming videos. Bye guys.